Okay, we're going live. We'll get better at it though.
Down. Okay, I'll keep going. Till the story. Then you got to go out and we light the candles.
What does your Rabbi Barbara, what does your t-shirt say or your sweatshirt?
My t-shirt says Kids Peace. So it's an organization, it's based in Israel, but also several places in this country. So it brings kids from different backgrounds together, and it does it by people who are involved in their faiths. So in Israel, it's Muslims, Christians, and Jewish students and their parents. So the usual formula, and I don't know what they did this year, but they have continued to meet, but they would have to meet once a month. The parents meet at the same time as the kids meet. And then if they do that throughout the year, then they get to go to a summer program. So there's one, I think that's been in Maine, something else, maybe Texas. There was one in Washington, D.C. for high school kids, and there are different programs in Israel as well. And so there are some programs in this country also bringing people together of different faiths. So it's called Kids Peace, and has really had some very positive acclaim. And when I was in Israel, which with the group from here, that they already had people who'd gone through the program who were now in military service on the Israeli side. So the impact of these cohorts of children coming through from like 3rd or 4th or 5th grade on, each year doing these programs means you have families and you have young people, now young adults, who have known other people who are different than themselves for a significant period of their lives. And if one of the things we believe is when you know people, when you have relationships with other people, that changes things, that's what this is about. So it's called Kids Peace. And when I was in Israel after the formal trip was over, I spent part of a day visiting them. And there are several people from Allentown who've made Aliyah who are part of that organization. So I got to meet somebody that I knew since she was in preschool, who was at that point a mother with 2 children. And that was during Ramadan. So she was very concerned that we met at such a time that would not be inconvenient for her Muslim counterpart, because we met with the 2 of them together. It's really interesting because many of the faith, the coexistence, the coming together groups are not based on people who are religious. It's people who are more secular. So this program is doing the whole thing about being respectful of people of their different faiths, their different observances. So she was saying the program in Washington, D.C. on a Friday had to be built in such a way that there was a time for a Muslim prayer at that time. And they also were back to wherever they were going to be before Shabbat started. So learning how to be considerate of all the different faiths was a part of what they were doing. So that's what Kids Peace is. In the back of my shirt says, Shalom, Salam, and Peace. So yeah, so I figured it was a shirt I could wear on Shabbat with everybody. So it's good to have you all here. And let's see, I'm going to mute you. I think, yeah. I will mute you to get started. And then I'm going to share a story first. Then I have a couple other words, and then we'll go to Havdalah. So this story is called 2 Men in a Chimney. And the story is about a man who went to his rabbi and said, you know, all my life, I've learned so much about Talmud, yet I've never studied it. Can you teach me? So the rabbi looked at the congregant, the man, and considered carefully, and he said, you know, Talmud is not just an ordinary kind of study. It's very different from anything you've been exposed to, and it takes a certain kind of mind. So let me ask you a few questions, and we'll see whether you have such a mind. So the man agreed. So the rabbi started, imagine a situation. 2 men come down a chimney. One comes out clean, and one comes out dirty. Which one washes himself? So the man thought about it for a moment and he said, well, it's obvious. The dirty man washes himself. And the rabbi said, I'm not so sure, but let's think about it. You see, you say the dirty man washes himself, but the dirty one would look at the clean one and would see how clean he is and would assume he's clean as well. So the clean one would look at the dirty one and might say, if he's that dirty, I must be that dirty as well. And so the clean one would probably go and wash himself. And the man said, well, Rabbi, you just explained it to me. So the clean one looks at the dirty one, and the dirty one looks at the clean one. So the clean one washes himself because he thinks he's dirty. And the rabbi said, well, I'm not so sure, because let's think about it. If the two men go over to the wash basin and there's a mirror, then the clean one would see he's clean, and the dirty one would see that he's dirty. So the dirty one would wash himself. And the man gave the rabbi a very puzzled look, and he said, the rabbi said, let me ask you another question. Two men come down a chimney, and one comes out clean and one comes out dirty. So which one washes himself? And now the man looked at the rabbi and said, Rabbi, I really don't know how to answer. I'm so confused. I mean, the first time I explained it one way and you said, no, it's the other way. And then I went and I said it was that other way and you said, no, it's the other way. So frankly, I don't know what to answer. So the rabbi said, well, you see, maybe you don't have the right kind of mind to study Talmud. Because what you should have answered is, how is it possible that two men could come down the same chimney and one could come out clean and one could come out dirty? So this really goes back to the whole thing about answering a question with a question. And that when we look at the Talmud, when we study the text, we can come up with one possible answer, another possible answer. And it's not really the answer that's most important. It's the continuing to delve and ask the questions and explore from so many different angles. So that's the story I wanted to share with you today. And this is in a book of favorite stories from different rabbis and teachers. And so this story was shared by Rabbi Robert Fine from Temple Beth Torah, a conservative synagogue in Wanamassa, New Jersey. So I don't remember how many stories are in the book, but each one is like a favorite story of a rabbi to tell. So I have shared others. It's called 3 Times High is the name of the book. So there's clearly 30, there are, my math is not good tonight, I'm sorry. But anyway, it's 3 times high, so it's 3 times 18, and that's how many stories are in the book. And so I wanted to share that with you. But it's a little. So I wanted to share a couple other short pieces to contemplate, as this is a month of reflection and contemplation. One's from Rabbi Abraham Twersky about measuring our days. And he suggests that life is not measured by the number of breaths we take, but by the moments that take our breath away. So I offer that as one thought to take into this evening as we make Havdalah and into the week ahead. And the other is from Rabbi Natan of Nemiroff, entitled Start Afresh. Know and believe that every time, at any moment, you can renew yourself and become a brand new being. So we must be strong and always begin anew. For sometimes we must start afresh many times on but a single day. So these are 2 thoughts from Pearls of Elul from Temple Emmanuel in Greensboro, which I've shared some things from there with you before, but I thought those 2 thoughts were nice ones to consider as well. So we are ready to make Havdalah and move my papers away before I light the candle. As Elsie was saying, she prefers the lighter to the match, but however, we want to be sure that we are careful with what we are doing. And then I also want to take another moment to put the words for the prayers in the chat. 54, thank you, Suzanne. My mind was not in a math place before. So the book has 54 stories in it. And I just blanked on that at that point. But let me get the other piece of this up 1 second so that I can share the text with you so that you will be able, I did a little while ago, I guess, because I don't see where I have it here. Here we go. Okay. I want to be able to have you participate in all of it with me. And if I do this before everybody's here, you won't all be able to see it, only people who are here after I put it up. So I'm going to try this candle, I think for the last night, because it's getting really short for putting it out. But I invite you all to light your candles. And at the Rosh Hashanah afternoon drive-through, we will be giving out candles and spices for everyone so that if you didn't have a candle yet, you'll have one by then, and spices so that for Havdalah, for the end of Yom Kippur and following, more people will have candles to join us. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen borei peri hagafen. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya 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 la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei minei v'samim borei minei v'samim. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya 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 la 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 la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei meorei ha'esh borei meorei ha'esh. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Hamavdil בין קודש לחול, בין אור לחושך, בין יום השביעי לששת ימי המעשה. ברוך אתה אדוני המבדיל בין קודש לחול. So we take a moment to just think about Shabbat and the movement from Shabbat to the rest of the week. If you've not already had a sip of your wine or juice, you can take a sip now. There are two traditions about when to take the sip. So I first did it earlier and then I switched to doing it later because both are fine. So either way, we're now ready to put out our candles. Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi, Bimera V'Yameinu Yavo Eleinu, Imashiach ben David, Mashiach ben David, Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi. I invite you to unmute yourself so that we can sing Shavua Tov together. And we do it slowly, so it's almost like an echo, so we can hear one another's voices. So anyone who's game, please do that with me. Shavua Tov,
Shavua Tov,
Shavua Tov,
Shavua Tov,
Shavua
Tov,
Shavua Tov,
Shavua Tov,
Shavua Tov, a
good
good week, a
week,
week of peace, may gladness reign and joy increase. A good week, a week of peace, may gladness reign and joy increase. We wish everyone a Shavua Tov. Okay.
Shavua Tov.
Just a second. I want to